Hi, my name's Chris Burres. I'm one of the owners of MyVitalC, and we've actually been manufacturing this molecule since 1991. So a little bit about the molecule. It was discovered in 1985 here in Houston at Rice University, and the three scientists who discovered it actually went on to win a Nobel Prize for the discovery of this molecule. It's an amazing molecule, and actually scientists thought it would be toxic. They put it in a toxicity study, and instead of being toxic, the test subjects that they gave it to, in this case it was Wistar rats, lived 90% longer than the control group. That's the single longest longevity experimental result in history, and that's really the transition. That publication was the transition that my business partner and I had from being happy-go-lucky carbon nanomaterial scientists, yes, that's me, weirdly enough, getting into the supplement industry. And that's why we're standing here at this vat. This is one of our vats where you actually take this molecule, you mix it in olive oil, and it's a supplement that's on the market with the most powerful research being that initial study where the test subjects lived 90% longer than the control group. So we've actually transitioned from that kind of carbon nanomaterial scientist selling into research institutions, getting into the supplement industry, and that flexibility is one of the things that has allowed us to sustain for the 32 years that we've been in business. So some people find out that I'm actually the owner of multiple companies, and one of those companies is a digital marketing agency, and another one is now a supplement in the supplement space, really carbon nanomaterial and supplement space. And people wonder, like, how does that transition work? Really, I got into the digital marketing business because we were selling our carbon nanomaterials into a research environment. So it's a small market. It didn't really have the ability for me to achieve my entrepreneurial aspirations. And so digital marketing was something that I was responsible for in the carbon nanomaterial business. And so to take on that role and start digital marketing for other companies was just really natural. One of the great values is I'm a digital marketing expert. I'm actually one of the co-hosts of the most popular SEO podcast on iTunes, and that puts me in the role of an expert digital marketer. Well, you can imagine now our carbon nanomaterials have shifted into the supplement industry, and those digital marketing skills are really valuable for what I'm doing in really MyVitalC. I think it's important through your career to be looking at those skill sets that are gonna be valuable to you as you go on to whatever the next role is gonna be. I can tell you one of the things that's really powerful for me is I actually took improv classes, and those improv classes actually led me into being a professional comedy improv artist for 5 years. And here I am on video, I'm improvising this, there's no script. That skill set has served me really well. And there's many skill sets, but you really want to pile up your skill sets so that they, at the end of the day, they make you into something that can be really powerful for whatever business you decide to go after. So some people ask me, I've been an entrepreneur for 32 years, they ask me what are the skills that are really important to have as a successful entrepreneur? And I think it's varied. I think the most important skill is probably your desire to learn and your desire to be flexible. Because the reality is things aren't gonna happen the way you plan. I can tell you the first business plan we ever wrote was for my carbon nanomaterial business, and we wrote the entire business plan based on the University of Houston purchasing our material, a certain quantity per month, I don't remember what it was, and you fast forward now 32 years, the University of Houston has never purchased any of our products. So our entire business model was based on this concept that never came to fruition. I do wholeheartedly believe in putting together business plans, but you've got to have the flexibility to, like, well, that's not working, what are we doing next? And there's a parallel with that when you look at my business, manufacturing carbon nanomaterials, and then that shifting into the supplement space. So I really think a desire to continuously learn, and then also that flexibility. I'm gonna add one more thing. I hope right? And I'm not going to put any pressure on my kids, but I do hope that they're entrepreneurs. One of the things that I'm hoping that they actually take as a job or a task is in the recruitment industry, right? Because you've got to be able to find and recruit and manage people in order to have a successful business. You doing it on your own is not the right strategy. And so I'm hopeful that they can go into that situation. And I say this because the CEO of my digital marketing agency is really strong and in his previous company was a recruitment company. So you think about it, you're figuring out how to hire the right people that fit in a certain culture, and then you're making sure that they actually perform in that culture, and then you're negotiating high dollar value deals. That is something that I think is extremely valuable for an entrepreneur. Of course, you've been an entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur for 32 years, and one of the classic questions is, well, if you had to do it all over again, what would you change? What would you do differently? And I think the thing that I would do differently, which would probably speed my path to success, is to do things a little more intentional. And it's kind of the nature of my personality to really go with the flow. And I think I probably needed more alone time to kind of gather my own thoughts about what I want to accomplish and what might be the best way to accomplish it. Because there are things that I can say probably took 2 years to make the decision to go down that path, and had I done that, pulled that decision, made that decision 2 years earlier, then I'd obviously be 2 years farther down that positive path, and I'm thinking of very positive paths. Here's my tip. Know your numbers. It actually turns out just by knowing your numbers will improve. I don't know what causes it. I don't know how it works. I don't know why it works. It's like the Heisenberg principle with quantum physics. The reality is if you start knowing your numbers, whether you do it or you have an accounting company that does it for you, taking care of the books and then reviewing those books with you on a regular basis, your profit will go up. Know your numbers. I've been in business for 32 years, and some people are like, hey, tell me your story, like go back and talk about the beginning. And I just finally decided that I should put it in a book. So I actually did. This is Live Longer and Better. It literally was published and available on Amazon 2 weeks ago. It's the story of starting and founding a carbon nanomaterial business, watching that nanomaterial business turn into a supplement business begrudgingly. We actually really tried hard not to get into the supplement industry. And then what this supplement can do or can potentially do, and really my journey into becoming a longevity expert, because the best research around our product and our molecule is a 90% extension of life in test subjects. And so now that's driven me into the longevity space, and I do podcasts regularly. And so if you're interested, you can find the book at livelongerandbetterbook.com, and you can read the whole story and find out more information.